YouTube, what's good? So it's your boy Not Real, and today I'm gonna do a video to a response of a pastor I saw speaking about transgenderness, yeah, whatever, and pretty much like what the Bible says about transgenderness. So before we get started, I just want to say, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and if you are subscribed, go ahead and hit that bell button so you can go ahead and get notifications to the videos. The title of the segment was called what does the Bible say about being transgender. I will put a link to the video in the description because the video itself is over an hour long and I'm not about to put an hour-long video into my video. So if you want to go ahead and watch it, please feel free to go ahead and hit the link in the description box. And what I'll also do is, for like my citations and the information that I use in this video, those will also be in the description box, because just like a paper, if I find information, I'm gonna cite it, because you know, proof is in the pudding. Let's get started. All right, the video was posted on inspiration1390.iheart.com, so I'm guessing that's the name of the radio station. So I got 4 points, because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch the whole entire. I got to like the first 20 minutes and I was like, I'm not finna listen to this for a whole hour. But if you want to, like I said, it's in the description box. The first thing that really pissed me off was the question. So even before the video started, like right when the video started, I immediately had an issue. So the host, I'm not sure what the host's name is, but she asked the pastor, and the pastor was a guy. From the voice of the woman, she sounds like a black woman. So my first point, I was like, based on your question, you already don't know what being trans is, nor do you understand what transgender means. And the question she asked was, is being transgender real or imagined? Baby girl, you could have looked up, you could have Googled define transgender and hit one of them 15 million links that will pop up that would tell you what transgender is. Like, but anyway, it's okay, because I know grandma said if you don't want a black person to know, put it in the book. Unfortunately, the only book that black folk really like to pick up is the Bible, and which has gotten us to this video right here. But it's okay, because you didn't take that time out to define it. I will define it for you. I actually got 2 definitions for you, one from Webster's dictionary and the other one from the American Psychiatric Association. All right, so from Webster's, it states, of relating to or being a person whose gender identity differs from the sex the person had or was identified as having at birth. I broke down gender identity and sex for you because I know for a fact y'all probably don't even know what the difference between that is. Alright, so sex is either 2 major forms of individuals, so 2 major, not the only, but 2 major forms of individuals that occur in many species that are distinguished respectively as female or male, especially on the basis of their reproductive organs and structures. Sex is also defined by your genitalia, by your genitals. What's in your pants? Penis, vulva. In some cases of intersex people, they actually have both. And gender identity is defined as a person's internal sense of being male, female, some combination of male, female, or neither male or female. So let me break that down for you from Webster's. According to Webster's, being transgender, well, transgender is relating to people or a person whose gender identity, what you think, a person's internal sense means inside, so your mind, how you identify is up here. All right, and is different from what a person was assigned to be at birth. Like, the doctor looked at my genitalia and was like, oh look, vulva, female. So do you see? That is how I'm trans, because I do not identify as a female. Oh my God. So is it real or is it imaginary? It's neither, because it's how you think about yourself. But because you probably don't grasp that information, let me break it down. Let me have the American Psychiatric Association break it down to you. Okay, so transgender is an umbrella term for persons whose gender identity, gender expression, or behavior does not conform to that typically associated with the internal sense of being male, female, or something else. Gender expression refers to a way a person communicates gender identity to others through behavior, clothing, or hairstyles, voice, or body characteristics including. Do you see that? Can't get no more simpler than that for you, but that's as simple as it can get. I also define sex, and by sex I don't mean sexual intercourse. I mean sex as in what's in your pants. So when y'all be talking about chromosomes do not identify what your gender is. Chromosomes only say what your sex is, that and nothing more, because mental is different from biological. Okay, all right, and that brings us to point number 2. Good old Pastor Man here says, well, he tried to answer the question in 3 instances. He said nature, nurture, and notion, and he pretty much broke it down saying nature is ordained by God, his God, the God of Christianity. Nurture, how you were raised, and notion, your choice. For nature, and we are talking about in terms of Christianity and the Bible. So I'm going to use the Bible to argue with the Bible to pretty much tell this dude, hey, hush, you don't know what you're talking about. Please do a little bit more research before you hop your behind on the radio telling people a whole bunch of 9 times out of 10, whole bunch of nignogs who didn't read the Bible themselves. Black folk, you know I'm talking to you. You know I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you other religious nuts out there who don't ever want to read the Bible for yourself, and who just go to what these lukewarm pastors preach or whoever else. Now, me, granted, I'm no longer a Christian, but which is why I feel like I can speak on this topic like that. He said that God is, well, that the nature comes from God, which according to the Bible, that is false. Nature is not of God. God is of the spiritual and not of the natural. I got about three passages, because I believe in the power of 3. 3 passages, there's more, but I just want to put 3. 3 passages that, within the Bible, that God is not of the natural or nature, but he's of the spiritual. Do you feel me? See, this is why when you become a Christian, your natural self dies and you are reborn within the spirit. So the first passage is 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 6 through 16. But within those verses, I really want to point out verse 14. But the natural man does not receive the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness to him, nor can he know them because they are spiritually discerned. Okay, because you didn't get that one. Alright, so now we're going to go to the second verse I have, which is Romans 11:21. It states, for if God did not spare the natural branches, he may not spare you either. There you go. See, acting on human instinct and nature is not of God. Because if nature was of God, the Christian God, then God would have saved the natural branches too, wouldn't he? Okay, there you go. Alright, and the third verse is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 3, which says, among whom also we all once conducted ourselves in lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of flesh and of mind, and whereby nature children of wrath, just as the others. There you go. I got 3 Bible verses for you right there, telling you that God is not of nature, or nature is not of God. And so your second point was that you said nurture. So pretty much his argument was that God says this is who you are naturally. You know, the devil, they like to blame the devil a lot. Christians don't ever want responsibility for themselves, but they like to blame the devil. So in his words, I'm paraphrasing, if the devil comes into your life and he starts planting seeds about who you might think you are, about this, that, and the third, that is going to lead you up and pretty much make you think that you're trans. So here's my point. I didn't really want to use a personal experience because I know you're like, oh, you guys, well, you're just an outlier, and what applies to you doesn't apply to everyone else. So, whatever. So, I was like, okay, cool beans, I got something for you. If you guys ever heard of Dr. I don't know if it's spelled money, M-O-N-E-Y, but it's probably Mooney. So anyways, if you guys ever heard of the Dr. M, we're just gonna call him Dr. M. Alright, so if you guys ever heard of the Dr. M and the Penn State experiment, so what happened was there were twin boys, and one of the twins, his penis ended up getting cut off while he was being circumcised. So Dr. M told his parents, hey, we can try raising, let's do an experiment. Let's raise this child here as a female, and let's see if he'll soon grow into his identity. Make a long story short, no, the child never believed that he was a he, and he ended up finding out about what happened, and then later on in his life, he started to transition back into his male self, and then he ended up committing suicide, so he's dead now. Yeah. Or nurture does not control how you view yourself, okay, right? So because how you identify is in your head, although there might be influences, that's just some random that you pulled out your ass. Just like 9 times out of 10, how a lot of people always associate that you probably were molested if you're gay. So here's the thing about choice. For me, I don't really care if someone was born trans or born gay or born whatever or born not. I just believe that's how you want to do it. Okay, cool. But so what I will say, this is the whole thing about choice. I think people focus on if being trans or being gay is a choice or if it's natural too much, because I just feel like everything that you do is a choice. You have a choice to act on how you want. You feel me? You have a choice to say, hey, I'm going to take this testosterone, or to say, hey, I'm going to take this estrogen, or say, hey, I'm going to sleep with that man, or hey, I'm going to sleep with that woman, or I'm going to be non-binary today. These are my pronouns. That's what I feel like when it says choice. I guess you would right in that instance. You do make a choice about how you want to act. And then point number 3. He messed up when he said this. He says, God made male and female. There are only 2 genders. Oops. Now, come on, Mr. Christian man. Let me break this down to you. So, Christianity is based on Judaism. It's an Abrahamic religion, meaning that it started with Abraham. And if you want to know about Abraham, you can read the Torah, you can read the Old Testament and the Bible, you can read the Quran. There's a text in Judaism called the Talmud. So there's a few texts, the Torah, like I mentioned, and you also have the Talmud. Now, the Talmud or Talmud, there are more than 2 genders in the Talmud. Or Talmud. These are Hebrew, so I might not pronounce them right. So the first one is zakar. The term is usually derived from the word for a pointy sword and refers to a phallus, a penis. It usually is translated to male in English. Navikia. The term is derived from the word for a crevice, and probably refers to a vaginal opening. Is usually translated to female in English. Androgynous, a person who has both female and male sexual characteristics. Tumtum, a person whose sexual characteristics are interdeterminate or obscured. Aloint, a person who is identified as female at birth but develops male characteristics at puberty and is infertile. Sars, a person who is identified as male at birth but develops female characteristics as puberty and or lacking a penis. A Sars can be naturally or become one through human intervention. Ooh, oh, ew, meaning you can be born that way or surgeries. Oh my God. But anyway, so here's the thing. See, I don't know if that person went to theology school. So here's the thing with a bunch of religious people. Especially if they went to theology school, they already have this knowledge. They already know that the Trinity in Christianity derives from the Black Madonna, and from the Black Madonna to Osiris, Isis, and Huru. They already know this. You have to have a degree in theology. You have to study this stuff. So, which is why I look at a lot of these religious people to be gatekeepers and not actually tellers of the truth. But that's another video for another time. And I would say this. He did reference Matthew 19. Matthew chapter 19. When Jesus is talking about like what marriage is between a male and a woman, between a guy and a woman. So here's the thing. Jews don't believe in Jesus. And even till this day, we can look at people of today. It's still evidence to believe, like Council of Nicaea or whatever else, that Jesus never existed. But like I said, that's another video. But if you guys are interested in like going deeper, subscribe to my other YouTube channel called Esoteric Bae, and that's where I talk about a lot of esoteric knowledge and religion and spirituality and things like that. And number 4, he mentioned that homosexuality is a lifestyle. People do not wake up and go put on their gay clothes or their homosexual clothes or their lesbian clothes. They don't get inside of their homosexual car. They don't drive to their homosexual jobs, and they don't get paid in homosexual money. Whether you're bisexual, homosexual, heterosexual, or any other sexual orientation out there, it's not a lifestyle. You're only gay or straight or bi or whatever else in the time that you're engaging in sexual intercourse. Because sexual orientation is only who you're sexually attracted to. I don't know if people get this. It's not of, oh, well, the pieces to the puzzle don't fix. That must be a mental illness. I don't know, you need you some good dick in your life. And that's not how it works. You feel me? He also asked a question about why lesbians like tend to date masculine appearing lesbians, and I'm like, homie, it's because she's still a woman, all right? So I don't know if y'all know this or not, but lesbians are homosexual women who like having sexual intercourse with other women. Meaning, once you take off, you know, the sweatshirt or your pants or your drawers, as long as you ain't got a penis coming out, I'm pretty sure a lesbian will be more than happy to sleep with you. Some lesbians like trans women, some don't. Some consider them transphobic, but like I said, that's another video for another topic. This video was solely about what does the Bible say about being trans and transgenderness. Honestly, nothing. In my opinion. Well, from what I read, the Bible doesn't deliberately talk about transgenderness. But if you enjoy your walk with Christ, you do you. Just stand strong. Me personally, I just feel like if you're gonna be a Christian 100%. Go by what that Bible says, because I'm gonna hold you to Leviticus 18:22. But that's with anything. That's with gay, straight, black, white. I don't care if you believe in something. I'm going to hold you to it. And I expect you to stand fast in that 100%. Read your Bibles. Read your books. Believe what you believe. Just own up to your stuff. Stand fast in your beliefs. That's all I got to say. All right, y'all. Pieces.